With huge numbers of travelers now seeking to travel more lightly and mindfully, these destinations are making sustainable travel easier this year. Travelers in 2024 don't need convincing that they have an important role to play in addressing the climate crisis. This awareness is reflected in an ever-increasing array of studies finding that more than 3/4 of global travelers want to travel more sustainably over the coming year, and that 90% of consumers look for sustainable options when traveling, with other sustainable tourism studies finding that an intention behavior gap remains. Destinations investing in sustainability, in the tourism sector and beyond, can help to bridge it. Mindful travel to places recovering from unrest or disaster, meanwhile, can also help to support a more sustainable future for these destinations. From destinations carving out innovative green spaces to places ready to welcome back tourists in the wake of tragedy, here are 10 destinations welcoming sustainable travelers in 2024. Number 1. Valencia. Each year, the European Green Capital Award is given to a city with an established and ongoing commitment to improve the environment and quality of life for residents and visitors. This year's recipient was Valencia. Currently working towards generating 100% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2025, the Mediterranean city prides itself on its green spaces, with 500 hectares to explore, including a suite of new urban parks such as its Parque Central, which unites neighborhoods previously divided by a railway that has since been relocated below ground. This city's green spaces also encompass the Huerta, 120 square kilometers of produce farms that supply local markets and restaurants, thereby reducing the carbon cost of dining out and self-catering. Number 2. High Atlas Mountains and Marrakesh, Morocco. The earthquake that struck central Morocco in September 2023 caused the deaths of more than 2,900 people and the complete or partial destruction of 50,000 homes, most of these near the 6.8 magnitude quake's epicenter in the High Atlas Mountains near Marrakesh. While Morocco's tourism industry has proven to be resilient in the face of disaster, with record tourism arrivals in 2023, hotels in largely unscathed Marrakesh have reported a drop in bookings, while artisans behind the workshops damaged in Marrakesh's Old Medina are still waiting for aid. All of the city's main attractions, including the El Badi and Baha'i palaces, Secret Garden and the Saadian tombs, have reopened since the earthquake, and while some areas of the Old Medina remain closed, its spice-scented alleys are as atmospheric as ever. Intrepid Travel has launched 4 new trips to Morocco for 2024, including a venture through the Happy Valley, also known as the 8 Bugmas region of the High Atlas Mountains. Number 3. Saba, Dutch Caribbean. The smallest special municipality of the Netherlands, the tiny tropical island of Saba is emerging as a champion of sustainable tourism in the Caribbean. Balancing the carbon cost of flying to the 13 sq km island, reached by ferry from neighboring St. Martin, is an impressive array of initiatives, including a solar park producing 35 to 40% of the island's power needs, a comprehensive recycling system, a marine park encircling the island, with excellent diving, and a ban on single-use plastics. Saba has its own water bottling plant. Helping to reduce dependence on the island's precious resources is a hydroponics farm at Rendezvous Restaurant in the town of Windward Side, which uses 80% less water than conventional farming methods. Number 4. Singapore. Singapore's sustainability journey is legendary, kicking off in 1967 when then Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew mooted his city in a garden vision. Following more than 50 years of mindful urban development, including the creation of more than 300 kilometers of green corridors as part of the city-state's Park Connector network, Singapore became the world's first entire nation to receive Sustainable Destination certification from the Global Sustainable Tourism Council in 2023. The certification reflects the Southeast Asian nation's commitment to its Singapore Green Plan 2030 goals for sustainable development, which includes quadrupling solar energy deployment by 2025, reducing the waste sent to landfill by 20% by 2030, and limiting the registration of new cars to cleaner energy models from 2030. Number 5. Belfast, UK. The UK's tourism industry remains the strongest supporter of the Glasgow Declaration on Climate Action and Tourism launched at COP25 in 2021, with 172 signatories compared to the US in second place with 73. Among the UK cities making the biggest strides towards a sustainable future is Belfast, which in 2023 jumped from 47th place in the Global Destination Sustainability Index into the top 11 within 18 months. The Northern Ireland capital is now being held up as a blueprint for excellence in a white paper published by Edinburgh-based sustainability certification organisation Green Tourism. Number 6. Southern Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Approximately 90% of the 2 million annual visitors to the Great Barrier Reef stick to the sultry northern hubs of Cairns and Townsville. Yet, some of the most rewarding and low-impact opportunities to experience this 300 km long ecosystem occur in the southern Great Barrier Reef. Rehabilitated from iguana-mined coral cay left to feral goats, the manta ray haven of Lady Elliot Island at the reef's southern tip is now one of Australia's foremost eco-resorts, run almost entirely on renewable energy. Just 40 kilometers to northeast as the crow flies, uninhabited Lady Musgrave Island provides a wild backdrop for day trips and overnight glamping experiences with Lady Musgrave Experience, which holds advanced ecotourism and climate action certifications from Ecotourism Australia. Tours operate from the region's key mainland port of Bundaberg, which received Sustainable Destination certification in 2023, also from Ecotourism Australia. Its state-of-the-art Mon Repos Turtle Education Centre runs ranger-led turtle viewing tours during the nesting and hatching season, November to March, while recently launched Tarabalang Bunda Tours offers opportunities to connect with ancient sustainability practices on Indigenous guided experiences. Number 7. Panama, Central America. Costa Rica has carved out a reputation as Central America's leader in sustainable tourism, and now neighboring Panama, which in 2023 granted legal rights to turtles, is stepping into the limelight as a community-based tourism pioneer. Despite Panama's diverse array of indigenous cultures, accounting for approximately 14% of the population, and rich biodiversity, the nation's tourism has traditionally centered on its famed canal and sultry capital Panama City. Now, visitors can explore Panama's lush rainforests and palm-fringed islands more meaningfully with the people who know it best, indigenous and rural communities. Number 8. Maui, United States. The horror of the wildfires that ravaged the Hawaiian island of Maui in August 2023, claiming at least 115 lives, destroying more than 2,200 buildings and homes and uprooting thousands, was felt around the world. In the days following the tragedy, many Hawaiians told tourists to stay away. But with restaurants, hotels, and tour operators since forced to lay off workers and unemployment rates surging, officials are now asking people to return responsibly. Given the extensive devastation on the northwestern side of the island, the Hawaii Tourism Authority, HTA, reports that Lahaina will remain closed to the public until further notice, and recommends checking accommodations in the nearby communities of Kaanapali, Napili, and Kapalua for availability before visiting. Number 9. Greenland. Long overshadowed by the groundbreaking sustainable tourism initiatives of the lower Nordic nations, Greenland is increasingly also taking steps to safeguard its icy territory and its growing tourism industry, as it navigates its future on the frontline of the climate crisis. Nuuk became the world's first capital city to be certified by EarthCheck as a sustainable tourist destination in 2020. In 2022, Visit Greenland announced the cessation of its support for conventional cruise tourism on sustainability grounds, and in 2023, Visit Greenland invited the tourism industry to support a shared pledge towards more sustainable and responsible tourism development. As the nation prepares to welcome a new international airport in Nuuk in 2024, operators are urged to support the pledge's 5 themes, spanning the support of local products to creating unique opportunities for tourists to visit throughout the seasons. Number 10. Dominica. In the wake of the Category 5 hurricane that devastated the small Caribbean island nation in 2017, Dominica's Prime Minister announced plans to make Dominica the world's first climate-resilient nation. While the development of early warning systems and resilient housing is now helping to safeguard residents, a new kayaking trail is helping to promote the island, already home to the Caribbean's longest hiking trail, as a sustainable tourism destination. Hugging the island's dramatic west coast for more than 60 kilometers, the Weta Kubuli Sea Trail is the Caribbean's first dedicated sea kayaking route. It runs south to north along the island's western coastline, taking in welcoming communities, secluded beaches, dramatic scenery, and local cuisine. The trail is the brainchild of longtime Caribbean Peace Corps worker Wes Moses, who opened Soufriere Outdoor Center on the island's southwest coast in 2022 after settling in Dominica in 2018. He's also joined forces with Coastal Lodgings to create a network of accommodations along the trail's 14 sections, with land-based hiking excursions and cultural experiences to enjoy along the way. Not far from the trailhead at Scott's Head, Colibri Ridge, the island's newest eco-resort, offers a luxurious base to kickstart your kayaking adventure,